Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and we're looking at Star Trek Strange New Worlds, episode number 8 of season 1. Excuse me. I'm very late in uploading this because I'm just shooting this right now, and I'll be uploading it almost immediately. I've been under the weather, I've had a sinus problem, so since last week, it was pretty bad for a while, so I've actually been laying low. Now, let me just tell you before I go into this particular episode. um I normally watch it on Friday nights. It comes out on Thursday. I watch it, however, on Friday night. As the working week is over, that's one of the first things that I do before I go to bed on Friday night is I watch the episode. And I do my reviews normally on Saturday or Sunday and upload it on Monday. But yeah, this is a Thursday that I'm shooting it. So yeah, it will either go later on tonight or maybe even on Friday. But it's okay. Uh, just for fun, right? Anyway, this particular episode is called the Kingdom. Elysian Kingdom, yeah. And this is a silly little romp. It is called a bottle episode, but it's also kind of sad at the end. It's bittersweet, is what I would say, but yeah, pretty sad, especially if you're a parent. So be warned if you haven't watched the episode. These are my points into it. So the reason why it's called the Elysian Kingdom is because this is based on a book, like a fairy tale book that Dr. Mbenga reads to his daughter Rukina. Now, if you don't know who Rukina is, she is fatally ill, and she's got a rare disease which there is no cure for her known in the Federation at the moment or any of their allies. So he's trying to find the cure for her. He's found a way to reduce the time that it's. Not necessarily reduce the time, reduce her time by putting her in the transport buffer, the pattern buffer. So while she's in it, she is actually still safer. And but each time he brings her out for to catch up on her, to do some test, to spend some time with her as a father and daughter, it's speeding up the process for her getting ill. So this is one of the books that he normally reads to her. I think this is one of the main books, and she doesn't really like the ending. And it's this fairy tale little story. So what happens is the Enterprise is near a nebula, like a lot of these kind of episodes are, and they get stuck while trying to leave. A couple of the people get injured on the bridge. So Mbenga is called onto the bridge. Now his daughter's back into the transport stasis, and he leaves. But when he gets there, he is transported into basically an alternate kind of version of the Enterprise, where basically it looks like an old style kingdom with a lot of tapestries, plants, and things like this. All the crew members are behaving like they are part of an empire, and he is the king. So they call him king. Funniest part, everybody's having a ball. Pike is having a ball. Anson Mount is having a ball. Christina Chong in particular plays. This was my surprise for the week because I hadn't really gotten into the character of Laan Noonien Singh. It did not really gel with me. She is this kind of like little bit of a dour character, mostly serious and uptight, you might want to call it. Very serious most of the time, security officer. And in this Elysian Kingdom, she is a spoiled British princess and she can definitely sing. She's got a great set of pipes on her, plus she looks really hot. And she's having a ball. She's playing it up as silly as possible, and it's really fun. Pike's character is the cowardly Chamberlain. Spock plays a wizard. His brother is supposed to be Hammer, who's another wizard. So all the characters have been all the crew have become turned into characters from the storyline. So what it basically is, we find out is there is this entity which is a disembodied entity that is kind of like very powerful, almost like a Q even, and it read Rukina's mind. It removed Rukina from the transport system, put her into a room, and basically from her mind, she got the story, and it created this elaborate universe. So, with the exception of Mbenga and Hammer, so everybody else thinks they are these characters. So they're playing out a basic story. Uhura is the evil queen, um, and yeah. So oh yeah, Navia Ortega's basically is the very brave, kind of like uh, bodyguard for the king, and the number one, Una is a mysterious archer in the forest who Navia and her are supposed. I mean, their characters are supposed to have gotten on. So yeah, it's a very silly episode with all of these people, doing something goofy and fun. It is a very entertaining episode. It was fun for all of us. I don't think most people will have any problem with, this particular episode. They finally are able to find out. Okay, Hammer is not affected because the ANR have got psychopathic abilities. No, sorry, what would you call it? ESP, I guess. Um, and he is able to ward off the entity that's trying to take over his mind, and so only he and Mbenga know what's happening. They have to play along and try and finally get towards their destination. And what happens is, at the end, they're led to the quarters where Rukia is, and well, the entity through Hammer finally Hammer allows it to take over him, and informs Mbenga that the entity can basically, like, it was kind of lonely. It was the only living only kind of creature that was there in the nebula. Basically, when I say creature, it's an entity. It's not really a physical creature. So it lives like a form of energy, and the nebula is basically its home. So it recognized Rukina is a kindred spirit kind of thing, and that she's lonely as well. Therefore, it let her out of the transport buffer. And while Rukina is with the entity, the disease, and, like, if she stays in the nebula, the disease is not going to affect her. She is going to live out basically throughout time and history, living in the nebula. She can do whatever she wants within the nebula. She can have an exciting life, creating all these fantasy stories and all those things, and even learning things about the universe. So she's going to have a fantastic life if she leaves the Enterprise and becomes a disembodied spirit along with the entity. So Mbenga, like all fathers, has to decide what's best for his child, leave her, so she can go and live out a wonderful existence, but never possibly see her again. And she's a kid, but in the end, he knows that if she stays with him, she is going to die. He might not be able to get, it's too late for finding a cure, so he decides to let her go. She goes off and joins them, but she immediately returns as a grown-up woman and tells him that time kind of passes very differently over there. So she's lived a few years, and she's very happy. She's glad to see her dad again, but he shouldn't be sad and upset for her. She basically is doing all right, doing pretty well, and she's happy where she is. So hopefully they can meet once again when the next time he happens to pass through by this nebula, and maybe not on the Enterprise, but on another ship. So they say their goodbye. The ship is let free, and everything returns to normal. Only thing is, Rukina is no longer on the ship. Everything goes back to normal, and the only ones who know about what happened there are Hammer and Mbenga, and of course Una knows about Rukina. Una's the only other one who knows about Rukina, and she goes to talk to him, and she realizes that she's no longer in the transport buffer, and he tells her what has happened, and they'll discuss it at some other time. He's still taking it all in. So it's kind of like bittersweet towards the end. I was really happy with that particular storyline, but now that it's ended, it actually is kind of really sweet and nice. And maybe the things will actually change for the character in Benga. And yeah, it's pretty nice. It's magical. It's, if you like those kind of things. I normally don't like these kind of episodes, but I found it to be funny. I found it to be really good. Good acting. The cast was having a ball, I believe, and everybody had a good time. So yeah, that's it for this particular episode. I really enjoyed it. Like I said, I think finally Christina Chong is growing on me. Um, I think she did a fantastic job as well. So I'll give this episode I'll give it an 8.5 out of 10. Really enjoyable. It's not really the kind of episode that I want to watch. Excuse me, but I can I can appreciate it for how good it was. So 8.5 out of 10. Thank you guys.